Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is place the columns. And the columns on the second level, if we look at our image, are going to go right in this area right here around where this ramp is. And so those columns, if we look at our section here, they go from a level that we have called top of column all the way down to a level that we have called top of beam. So they actually go through the floor. So that's where we're going to place them. Um, Here's a exploded axon showing those columns. They're actually shown as trusses, and we're going to enter them as columns and beams first, and then we'll go back and look and see how you can do it as a truss. So minimize this guy. And so these columns are double C's that have been welded together, and I've given you those columns. So the first thing we're going to do is go to our level 2 plan, and we are going to go to column, and we're going to go to structural column. And you're going to pick the M double C channel column mirror, and it's the 200 by 20.5. If you go to the pull down, it's right here, right? If it's not selected. The one thing you want to be sure of is that this is set to height and not depth. If it's set to depth, the column will start at that level and go below, which is typical for structural engineers because in the way that they calculate loads. But we want height, and we want to set the height of this up to top of column for right now. Okay, and then we could go at this point and just place the columns at the grid intersections where they need to be, but we can also set them using at grids right here. So if I select at grids, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to window crossing across the intersections of the grids I want to place the columns. So I'm going across all the intersections of the grids that I want columns to be placed on. And then I let go, and it will come in and you will see it'll place those columns on those grids. And once those are placed, you can hit finish, and if I go to my 3D view here, I've got those columns. It also wants to place another column, so I'm going to hit escape to stop that command. Now these columns, if I pick them, they're actually base leveled on level 2, and we want them to be, if we go to our south elevation, we want them to be base on top of beam, because right now the top of them is fine, but we want them to go lower. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to select this column. I may have to tap the tab key to get around and I'm going to go to select all instances in entire project, and then I'm going to reset my base level here to top of beam, and you're going to see them shoot down to the top of beam right there, which I think actually the top of beam is a little high. It should be coincident with the bottom of that floor. So I'm just going to do a little distance here, see what that, so that's a 40 distance. So this needs to be 40 units lower. So I'm just going to left click on this and subtract 40 from 90, which will be 50, and hit enter, and that will bring that down coincident with the floor, and these will follow. The next thing we're going to do is come and put the beams underneath these so they can be resting on something.